Alex Merklinger's Mysteries of the Mind. And now your host, Alex Merklinger.
Is it okay if I say dear friend, Clif?
Sure.
Because you truly are one of the members of our family now, the world wide over, 72 countries, possibly 73. I haven't checked it yet. And people don't want to hear me anymore. They want Clif on.
The nut job uncle. Yeah, we're always fun. Yeah.
I mean, that's, hey, come on.
Well, sorry about that. It was never my intent.
Yeah, no, I'm only kidding. I know. Anyway, okay. Clif. The prognosticator. And I know you don't like that word. But all I can say is, my friend, you just are beginning to scare the hell out of me with your accurate predictions. And there's a whole lot happening. Maybe, Clif, because we have so many people, and I mean literally, we have so many new people almost every week. And I don't like to rehash it, but would you mind giving a brief synopsis of what you do and the historical evidence of the accuracy of what you do, and then let's get into your new run.
Okay. Be sure and stop me if I go on too long with it, because I have a tendency to drill down in...
Yeah, we got a lot of time. What the heck?
In details. But
yeah, we got a lot of time.
Basically what we do is we monitor the shelf life of the emotional content of language. So all language has a shelf life. If we think about it in a personal level, if someone comes and delivers a big legal document to you full of formal legal language, well, you can pretty much figure as soon as you get it in your hands, you're going to get a little shock, a little immediacy value. And then also, it's going to have a long-term carry value, because we only, as a society, use formal legal language when something's going to take a long time to resolve, in a general sense. Mm-hmm. So there might be two attributes around a particular set of language. Now, against that background, we have two other nice little juxtapositions here. We have new language always popping up. The fringe of society, I mean, not to be too cliche about it, but musicians, immigrant groups, all different kinds of people are in the process of always creating new language. And usually comes in as slang, and for some period of time it may have some immediacy value, but usually as a rule it kind of fades away and doesn't have a long-term carry value. So we can tell, basically, if we were to listen to people talk about things, the emotional content of the language would give us a lot of clues about how they feel about what they're saying, in spite of what words they may be using.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So there's that aspect of it. And then there's this other interesting juxtaposition. For a reason that at this point is fascinating to pursue, but is totally immaterial, it would appear that changes in language on a broad scale seem to precede the appearance of particular kinds of events or trends. So if one were to scan the internet today and then scan it tomorrow, and you ate up all of the words and you just compared the two sets at a very simplistic level, those words that changed, if you could get an emotional feeling for them, might give you a clue as to what is pending in our sort of space-time continuum. It's not that it's 100% predictive, but it is more than just, it's far more than random chance would allow, and it is, at some point, we get real close to getting real good, emotionally descriptive clues about things. For instance, the current issue of Katrina's damage to New Orleans was seen not only in terms of language shifts that led us to interpret certain things as bad water, so to speak, right, but also, quite literally, a city returning to the mud from which the bricks had originally come. And that kind of seems to fit. This was part of a two-city disaster scenario that began popping up in our work back in January. So, historically, I mean, just even this year, we've had some reasonably good fits, I would think. Certainly, as I say, to an accommodating mind, someone who would give us the benefit of the doubt, it seems to show better than random chance would allow. But basically, as I say, what we're doing is we're monitoring the shelf life of language. Now, we go about it in a very complex way because we're computer programmers, but you blend that with the linguistics, and you end up getting kind of a picture. So, for instance, we might go out and send one of our robots out, and it sweeps a sewing forum and a gardening forum. And for whatever reason, all of a sudden in the gardening forum, we've got words that, when their emotional content is analyzed and linked back to our lexicon, start showing up in the range of emotional quotient for fear. Well, it's like, are these people suddenly afraid of gardening, or what's going on? Then we have other programs that go in and ferret out some more of the details around the emotional quotient. Now, it could be that we have the psychic leakage theory as to why this might work. And that's the theory that, say, there's, well, we know, for instance, in our population at the moment, that for every 1.2 million people born, we'll have a truly outstanding genius. That is to say, someone whose contributions will match up to their IQ, which should be around 200 points.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, and just on a statistical basis, one would grant, since we're considering the aspect of the mind, that a lot of people at any level we care to define, we can find humans within a large enough set of a population that are experiencing what we can call psychic abilities.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
right.
what if these people, the vast majority of them, aren't really aware of that, but they're troubled, concerned, certain words pop up in their head, certain images, certain emotional components of things, and it colors their everyday life, and it leaks out into their conversation. And our program's going out and sort of find it. Kind of makes sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, very, very much so.
So really, whether it's a giant overall super consciousness, as Jung or Freud might try and describe it, or whether it's psychic leakage, it doesn't really matter much.
Wow. Every time you're on, we talk about this, and it still blows my mind. I mean, because, Cliff, my background is the mind. And I, started teaching specialized programs which basically taught people how to develop what is known as psychic ability. And psychic ability, to me, is nothing more than an ability to perceive information through means outside of our normal five senses. Nothing magical, nothing mystical or black magic or whatever. It's a very natural thing, such as the perfect eyesight. The baseline perfect eyesight is 20/20. Some people have 20/15, which is better. Some people have 2400, which is probably legally blind. So they have an ability to wear glasses to bring their eyesight back better, and the same thing with hearing aids or what have you. So we all use some type of enhancement, if needed, to better balance or better bring in our five senses. All I'm saying, and exactly what you're saying, I think, is that, hey, we have abilities to bring in information through means other than our eyesight. In other words, how far can you see with your physical eyes? Well, how about if I show you ways that you can see unlimited distances using your mind? The same thing with hearing. Sound, touch, taste, smell, and what have you. And it seems that you're right, Cliff, that today, and going back the past 25 years or more, I started teaching these programs back in the late 60s. And when we first started to teach some of the mind control and even silver mind control and mind development programs, people did everything but throw rocks at us. They thought we were... You
mean they actually stopped short of that?
Only because I could run faster than they could throw the rocks. But the amazing thing has always been, in my short lifespan, just going back from the mid to late 60s when we started to teach to today, the things that blew people's minds when we started today are commonplace. If I went out and told people what they were capable of doing, they'd say, yeah, so, I know that. So this is where we've come in just 40 years. And it's incredible.
Yeah. And you know you're onto something when the government denies they're doing it.
Yes, isn't that true?
Well, it's one of those contrary indicators. Just like anytime the government rushes up and into your face through television and says, don't worry. Well, let's take the don't out of there and concentrate on the latter.
Oh, you got that. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, don't worry. I'm from the federal government, and I'm here to help you.
Correct.
Let me tell you, that's when I put my hands on my wallet, stick them in my pocket, and turn around and go the opposite direction.
I don't even turn around. I just start walking backwards.